Real Radio's Listen Again.
Welcome to Home Time. Coming up, loads of teenagers have been camped outside Real Radio, and it's not because we're in the building, Lorna, is it? No, it's all because of the guys who have released 16 singles, 5 albums, and have millions of record sales. It's McFly!
Yeah. You can cheer yourself.
Yeah. Big yourselves up, etc. Well, first of all, thanks for dropping in.
Thanks for having us. It's our pleasure.
First job you actually need to do is go outside and make everybody in the office a brew, because this is a very, very, very busy show across the Northwest.
Really?
Right.
We have travel news to compile, which is on the way after the break. Is that all right? So,
that's fine.
Brews.
We'll stick the kettle on.
I'm just milk, no sugar. Lorna is...
Yeah, just tea, milk's fine.
Right,
Great.
she's
No
gone through the
problem.
trouble.
Tea milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marvellous, right. So that's the first job sorted out for
Yeah.
them, isn't it? Nice to know they know the place in the studio here at Real Radio. OK, McFly here. We'll be back with him in a moment. So McFly here. You've got a new single out called Party Girl, available from the 5th of September. What can we expect from the new album? Because your music style has changed loads, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. We've kind of experimented a bit on this album. We basically started recording it about 2 years ago in Australia, and we did about 10 songs, and we got to the end of the recording process and kind of realised that we hadn't really challenged ourselves or pushed ourselves enough, and we basically scrapped those 10 songs, and we were about to go on tour to like South America and Europe, and we thought while we're away we'd take a step back and come up with a real clear vision of what we wanted to achieve. And we started working with this producer called Dallas Austin, and he's from a completely different sort of musical background to us. So it was really about explaining this sort of vision of what we wanted to do, that we wanted to kind of experiment a bit more, and just him coming from his sort of side of the music industry, and with his experience, having his influence on us, and seeing what we could come up with something new, and that's how Party Girl and all the new album was born.
So 5 or 6 years down the line.
7 years. We celebrated our 7 years together last weekend.
Well, it's obviously stuff that you can do now that you probably couldn't do in your early years then, presumably.
Yeah, I think it is certainly very different. But, this song, maybe more so than the rest of the album, is quite an extreme change, and that was the whole thing about releasing this song first. And there's definitely still the old McFly within the album. It's kind of...
I was going to ask that, actually, because we had quite a few listeners texting in yesterday saying when they come in and see you tomorrow, ask them why they keep changing their music. But surely you've got to keep changing.
The fans over the past 5 years have changed, moved along with us on each album, and this album has still got the old McFly in it, so kind of mix of the two.
We normally do an album a year, but it's just because we've missed out one album. For us, like the changes sort of happen, but you've not heard the album that we've already made in Australia.
And I think the fans have got to, they've got to wait for the live shows as well. It's still McFly. It's
It'll all make sense.
Are you still going to put your old stuff in when you do the concert?
Definitely. It's all about
it's
all about the what we've done, like our back catalogue of songs, and the album is still definitely us. It's just a progression, it's different.
It's Home Time on Real Radio. We'll be back chatting to McFly after the latest news and sport headlines. They're on the way. Glenn and Lorna across the Northwest, Home Time on Real Radio, and we are back with McFly. And guys, we did ask the listeners yesterday to text in some questions, the best ones to actually come in and meet you, who you've already met so far before the show went on air. But this question here from Paul Hogan in Macclesfield, who says, have you ever fancied each other's girlfriends?
I've fancied all of our girlfriends. Yeah, they're all good-looking girls.
Look at the other two just staying completely silent.
I think the boys are going to have some very good-looking girlfriends.
Boys are boys.
Just have some good dreams.
I fancy so many girls.
Not pussy then.
No.
Okay, Kirsty in Manchester says, if you were allowed a superpower for the day, what would you choose?
I know what mine would be.
Go on.
Invisibility.
Oh, you'd be a pest.
I'd be able to travel through time. That'd be my superpower, yeah.
See, I don't know if I'd want that. I don't know if I'd want to...
Yeah, because then I'd go back
to at the end of the day, I'd go back to the beginning of the day and be able to do it again.
Oh,
so therefore, I would always be able to have that power.
I'd go back to back in time to missed opportunities.
Okay.
Bit of a raised eyebrow action there. Would you like to elaborate?
No.
Okay.
Just one more to go.
I'd just be happy having a day of flying.
I would go for that as well, definitely.
And then just come back down to Earth, okay, that's cool.
In Skelmersdale, Dave wants to know...
if you could be someone else for the day, who would you be and what would you do being that person?
Why do I keep
Anybody. You can be anybody.
What did you just think of? You hear the noise he just made?
I don't know, I'd be like Brad Pitt or something. But I'd have to make sure she had a day off.
She had a day off.
If you were Brad Pitt for the day, I'd make you go back to Jennifer Aniston.
Okay. Home Time on Real Radio, back with McFly very, very soon. It's Home Time across the Northwest. Our guests are McFly this afternoon, and here's one for you. Who's around at the moment that you love?
I just bought a Black Eyed Peas album.
Oh, they are amazing. I went to their concert. They're just amazing.
They're great.
Yeah, I'm loving all the big like pop acts that are out there, like Lady Gaga and the Beyoncés and Rihanna's and Black Eyed Peas, people like that. I think it's great that pop's become, so popular again, and people are really sort of pushing it.
I've got a question for you. This whole Robbie going back to Take That. If one of you guys left in a huff, would the others
It wouldn't take
let
that
them
long.
back in? Would you let?
Depends which one of us it is.
The thing is, I can't see it happening with us. I really can't.
No.
Do you think that Take That are right to take Robbie back
Yeah,
on?
definitely.
You
I
do?
think it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great. I think he's obviously ready. They're obviously ready for him and stuff. I think it's going to be really exciting for their fans. Really.
I saw them in concert before when Robbie was with them when I was little.
Yeah, I think
When you were
he's-
little, I was
we've always-
16.
The thing is, we've always.
I saw them too.
We've always liked Robbie Williams. He's such a nice guy, for all the things he's been through, and
Yeah.
because he's been massively famous. And
Now, you started off, you were all quite young when you got together. Have you ever come close to
What are you
splitting?
looking
Because
at?
you have done really, really well, I think, just to stay together. And like you say, you've been bringing out an album every
We
year.
genuinely,
You're
I
just
know,
genuinely
I know,
very close.
Yeah, like we are literally the best of friends. Like we know, a lot of bands say it, but we meet so many bands that don't get on, and there's nowhere near as close as us. And I think that's
hey, I'm bored. I want to see what this.
I know, what is it you're
What are you
reading?
looking at?
Yeah, just for the sake of the
interview's going
listeners,
on?
Sorry to interrupt.
Glenn has got a magazine.
He's got a
here.
magazine.
It's this week's Reveal magazine. It's only 99 pence, and it includes this summer's hottest
Gossip.
read and gossip on there. McFly star Dougie Pointer wants every day to be a Saturday because he's moving in with his girlfriend Frankie Sanford. The loved-up pair recently rekindled their romance after a brief split earlier this year. It's just the way it's all written and summarised in a bubbly
It's
fashion.
pretty much all true, though.
Do you find column inches intrusive or actually good for publicity at the end of the day?
Do you know? I don't really know. I mean,
it's
it didn't
really.
It's kind of fun. Like it's just fun. We don't really.
I suppose you've not
affect
really
us.
had any bad publicity. I don't recall ever seeing anything bad.
Touch wood, no.
When I read something as well, I'm like, I don't feel like anybody else is seeing it. Like I see it in the paper, I'm like, oh no, no one else has seen it. But I'll see someone. They'll be
They
like,
do though.
Yeah, that's it. They do read it, don't
do.
they?
Oh
It's a
no,
bit
it's
like-
massive news.
It's a bit like when we're talking in the studio, we kind of forget that anyone's listening.
Exactly.
You're just in your own
and
little
it's when-
bubble, aren't
It's
you?
when you see something in the paper, you forget that people are looking at it. Yeah. the
And if
same.
it's not true, you just probably think, don't you?
Yeah.
Can we do a sound effects CD whilst we're here? The latest sound effects, as recorded by McFly. So listen, guys, we know you're very busy. You've got a lot going on.
We've got loads of girls outside to go and kiss as well.
Yeah, it's a hard
Loads.
life, isn't it?
It is a hard life.
Thank you for dropping into Real Radio.
Thank you. No,
Thanks
thanks
for
for having
having
us.
us.
Before you do go, take a wee break. I want you to come back in about 20 minutes with a fact of the day for us, okay?
Great.
Okay.
All right, smash it.
For more interviews, videos, and pictures, visit realradio.co.uk.